There's the unit itself, and we have a lot of room in there to connect so many more options for future expansion. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Cooler Master V850 Gold power supply. I did receive this sample from Cooler Master directly, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this power supply or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Take a look at the retail box and packaging right here. Everything looks great. 10-year warranty, 80+ gold certified. This actually works with the Cooler Master Master Plus software as well, which is neat. So we are able to use that software to have interactions and monitoring in real time with this particular power supply. Take a look at all different sides and angles, additional features on the back side, as well as the sides of the packaging. This is fully compliant PCIe Gen 5.0 with 450 watts, as you see from the cable right there. Now let's go ahead, let's open this up and look at the contents. Looking for a secure and reliable way to access the internet? Look no further than ExpressVPN. Protect your personal information and browsing history from prying eyes. Act now and sign up for ExpressVPN today using our link in the description and receive an extra 3 months of service for free. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our product literature featuring our user guide and manual as well as our installation guide. Next, you'll see we have a nice Cooler Master bag that the power supply unit was in, followed by all of our cables right here tucked away nicely for us. And lastly, we have the power supply unit itself. Let's go ahead, let's look at this in more detail. Here's a look at the power supply up close. From the side, you'll see our V850i with a nice golden triangle and Cooler Master's logo. That'll look great when you install this in your case, especially if you have a nice little pop-out window. Here's a quick look from the very top, V850i right there. Backside, we have our power connector cable for our wall and our toggle on and off switch. Very bottom shows the Cooler Master logo and branding with our cooling fan and the V850i logo again right there with the little directional arrow. Pretty sweet. On this side, you'll see we have additional tech specs on our power supply right here. And then lastly, flipping it around, you'll see our COM port connection option for real-time monitoring and statistics. Our ATX 3.0, PCIe 5.0, 12-pin option there, up to 450 watts. And all of our additional plug ports, PCIe CPU, hard drives, our SATA ports right there, and our motherboard connection options. Good looking power supply. Now let's go ahead and try it out. All right, so we have our power supply plugged in and powered on. Let's go ahead, let's check our voltages right here. So first up, we have our 12-pin connector cable. Our positive voltages are as follows: 5 for our 5 volt, 11.9 for our 12 volt, 3.2 for our 3.3 volt. Everything's well within range and spec, so it's great to see. For our negative voltages, same thing, 12.1 for our 12 volt, 5 for our 5 volt SB, and our PG value is 168. That's measured in milliseconds. You want to be anywhere between 100 and 500, so this is great to see there. Let's move right along to PCI. We're showing 11.8 volts. And then we have our CPU, 12 volts right at 12 volts. And then lastly, we have our SATA connector. And this is showing 5 for 5 volts, 11.9 for 12 volts, and 3.2 for 3.3 volts. So everything is operating as you would expect to proper specs right here. All right, now our PC's been built with our power supply installed. Let's go ahead and check out the build. Here's a close-up of the back side of the unit with our power supply installed, with our main cable coming in from our wall outlet here, our toggle on and off switch. Inside the build, you'll notice a couple of cables installed. Our PCIe cable right here for our EVGA RTX 30, I believe that's a 3060 in there. We have our motherboard power cable right there. And then up at the top in this corner, you'll see we have our CPU power right there. And then a look on the back side here where the CPU power cable comes down and connects into there. There's the back side of our motherboard cable there. And then looking down below, there's the unit itself. And we have a lot of room in there to connect so many more options for future expansion. All right, since the power supply has successfully been installed, let's look at the Cooler Master Master Plus software so we can see the real-time monitoring and what we're able to configure. So when you open up the software, this is what you'll see: any sort of linked and established Cooler Master product. In our case, it's going to be the V850 Gold. That's what we want to see, and there's a nice little image so you can quickly browse and find it. It takes you to this overview page where you can monitor the input power. So you'll see right up here we have our quick values as well as a breakout down below here with a real-time chart showing 111.8 volts AC, 0.8 amps. And then we have our power in, power out settings right here. Looks like 97 watts in, and now that's changed to 75, 64 out. So then you can toggle between the two, power in or power out right there. So that's our input settings, everything in real time, which is great, followed by our fan mode settings. So currently we have it set to silent. Then you'll see we have a standard, we have gaming, overclock, customize if you want to customize this yourself, depending on the load percentage. And then you'll see we're back to our silent setting. So we have 5 different fan options, with one of them being one you can customize yourself, which is pretty cool. So pick and choose, toggle that however you want. Very convenient. And then you'll see we have our output options here, 12 volt real-time monitoring. So we're showing 11.9 volts, 3.4 amps. 5 volt, we're showing 5 volts, 3.2 amps. 3.3 volt, we're showing 3.3 volts, 1.2 amps. And then our thermal temps, we can adjust that 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't forget too, we have the toggle button, again, depending on the setting that you're in there, what you want to monitor. So volts or amps, pick and choose. But really cool that we have this nice brief overview breaking out everything for us with a couple of settings that we can tweak. And then you'll notice we have a config section here. So we can generate some log files. We have our device name, current firmware, software versions, all of that right there. Just basically viewing your device settings. But chances are you'll want to have this overview section up, and you'll want to customize this however you see fit. So far, so good with this power supply. Let me share with you guys my final thoughts. Really, this is a fantastic power supply, giving you some great features that are available today. I love the customization options. That's probably why you've landed on this particular power supply versus other power supplies. So just basically weigh what's most important to you. Do you want those features and will you pay extra for them? Or would you rather just have a regular run-of-the-mill 850 watt power supply? That's really only something you can decide. But I love the monitoring. I love having that right at your fingertips. Super convenient to be able just to go into their software and configure the fan however you want and to see the real-time voltages. So for me in particular, no issues or complaints so far. I expect it to last for years to come. And you can buy with confidence knowing you have a 10-year warranty in the off chance something does happen, which I really hope it won't for you. I've built quite a few PCs using Cooler Master power supplies, and I've had 0 failures or anything throughout the year. So I'm assuming that that same great experience will be held up with this power supply for years to come.